find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Atlanta Falcons and the Minnesota Vikings. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. First and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. Here's Joe Mixon as they... And right away, he lost the football. And fortunately for him, he's able to get it back, but it will be a loss on the play.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it, and somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
Back to Mixon on second down. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. It's a 7-yard gain that gets him back to the original line of scrimmage. 3rd and 10. This defense for the Vikings, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number? 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Back to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. The Falcons send out their punter. They'll kick it away after 3 and out on the opening drive of the game. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
And nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Corral. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he will have a Vikings first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6. The Vikings at 3-2, a game over 500 here to start the season. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
On 2nd and 7, Corral. Throwing left side, it's complete. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 28. A good pickup there, 26 yards. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Corral to throw, 1st and 10. And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball and could not hang on. Second down coming up. And they'll send the tight end in motion left. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Corral. And this throw incomplete. The defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
Corral yet again going to throw it. And that is incomplete.
Nice job there forcing that incompletion. This is going to be a fun battle throughout this game. Watching him try to take away that area of the field.
Joseph's got it. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they dipped a game below 500 following the loss last week. And you get the sense that maybe this team's at a little bit of a crossroads here.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it, because what's that old malaprop? If you come to a fork in the road, take it. Because this crew, they're losing ground fast. They've got to start winning some ball games. And the good teams, they're starting to separate themselves, and these guys are being left behind.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage. I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
It's caught. It's Miller. And they will get this across midfield, but still well short of the first as he's dropped at the 46. The Falcons send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And it's taken in at the 9. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. This will be caught downfield by Marshall. And he will step out of bounds, but not before he's all the way across the 50. A big play there for Minnesota. 43 yards. Slot man moves right. 1st down, here's the run with Cook. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Corral got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Here's Corral. He'll fire it deep for Rager. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest with a guy with that type of speed. You do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And that will make it 6-0. So scores on their first two possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold it to just a yard.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 6-0 our score after one. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Flush to his right. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked by the linebacker, Brian Asamoah. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I'm going to play cards against this guy in the locker room.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And he'll be out of bounds here, a yard shy of the 25 and the 24. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the picks. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a 1st down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Julian Okwara there to bring him down. Still 9 remaining on 2nd down. They'll try the middle with Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. And keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Ronald Jones, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Joseph connects on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20.
Now
Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Back to Mixon on second down. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Thus far, they have been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
On second down, here's Mixon. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
This defense really fooling around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this one is incomplete.
Based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
Fielded at the 20. 40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return, and it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. The football changing hands here, and as this offense takes the field, Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage, while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a 1st down. Corral sets up play action. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
2nd and 10, Corral. Looking right sideline, that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now again, it's Corral. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. On 2nd down, here's Corral. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning them into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. Looking deep downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
They'll set up a throw.
Well, this is intercepted. They get Ritter for the 3rd time.
Monte Nicholson picks it.
And the Vikings are going to get the football here at their own 4-yard line.
3 first-half interceptions now, and Charles, you'd have to think a fair amount of concern is developing over there on that sideline.
And there should be, because essentially he's been a little loose and possibly reckless with the football here in the first half. Now, maybe it's not all on him, but still 3 interceptions. That puts the entire team in jeopardy. So the play call from here on out, got to design some throws for him that he can complete, keep it away from the defense, and try and get him back on track.
Throwing again on 2nd down.
Corral right back to Cook for another completion.
So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And this will be taken at the 13. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half.
Here we go.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
And with only 9 seconds remaining, well, not much time, we'll see how they play this.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half.
Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone.
And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
The first down throw here for Corral.
Well, it's caught on the right side at Smith. 2 yards on the pickup there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred the defense.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Here's Corral on 1st down.
And he fires one that's intercepted.
Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And the Falcons are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
Pretty much everything went their way offensively in the first half, but now an interception on the opening drive of the third quarter.
As we know, the key to everything here, don't get careless with the football. The problem is you've got to stay aggressive as well. So where's the line between being aggressive and attacking and being overly aggressive? I think they just crossed it on that one.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
But that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop it.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up with...
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Say hello to Eric Kendricks. He gets the sack there. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, they had 5 last week, I remember.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. Different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
The Falcons send out their punter. They'll boot it away from about his 35. This is fielded at the 7. And he'll go out of bounds after getting this across the 15. It'll be a net of only 30 here. 40-yard punt, 10 on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important trying to...
He's got a man complete. And he'll get this one away on just shy of the 45-yard line. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Cook up the gut. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
From just shy of midfield, Corral complete. Smith has it.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
He needed a yard. That's exactly what he got. Earns him a new set of downs. They run it again with Cook. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Corral.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Third down, Dalvin Cook. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Touchdown, Vikings.
I know you keep the focus on the spotlight on the hero that just scored, but tackling's been an issue for this defense all game long. I can't set that aside. We just saw it again here. Missed tackles leads to his long touchdown run.
Joseph connects on the extra point,
and that stretches the lead all the way up to 27.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
All right, Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Glad to have you with us from Minneapolis. Third quarter here, 2nd and 10.
Eluding the pressure right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. He'll drop to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Monte Nicholson picks it. And the Vikings are going to take possession here at their own 33. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Corral looking to throw it. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
I have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
Throwing on 2nd and long.
Corral. Smith brings it in, going across the middle.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. 3rd down, here's a run by Cook. He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the 1st down. Close it out.
They'll run for it. Cook. And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it. But in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Off the play fake. Here's Corral.
Catch is made here by Irv Smith Jr. And he goes down, but not before getting us inside the 25. They got 29 yards that time. Up the middle, it's Cook.
He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4. 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Joseph connects on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game is played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They're going to look to throw. Dumps it off to Mixon. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now. Now back to throw. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Lewis C. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts in the season.
Second down, they go right back to Cook. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And that will be incomplete. Well, up big here in the 4th quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
All things considered, a pretty good kick. Just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck. And unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Open target here, Darius Slayton. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Nice 3rd down conversion and even 20 yards.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
We are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score. Back to throw again.
This goes out wide from Mixon.
And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be fourth down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Blocked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a fourth down?
And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead drops from 34 down to 27.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.